played a lot of Call of Duty.
Early
But no,
attack
like
here from Mendiola
fitness-wise,
on the left flank.
we would do our
It's
teams.
very
in sessions,
attacking
like you
look here,
said, and then I would
able
always
to really
have
get that
30
through.
minutes to an
Now
hour
moving
at least,
things
just my
around,
own
talking about
personal
Maharlika, trying to
workouts.
get the hold of the
Personally, I
ball
was
here.
recovering from an injury,
Now,
so I was just
ask
doing
any
rehab
of these
stuff,
players, they feel
and,
that this
mostly just
game
workouts
is
to keep
very
myself
winnable
busy.
for either side. So really, the team that has more discipline,
It's
the
okay.
team that
We're all just happy
is
that we can get out
able
here
to
play.
execute here, will probably be the
We're going
one
to
that
start
comes
off
up
with
on
the
top.
protocols, like you said, with smaller groups, which
Definitely
is
a lot of
fine right
adjustments
now.
as
I
well
think we just need
for
to
both
focus on
sides
fitness
as we
and
talk about this
getting some touches on the
Maharlika
ball
side.
again, because
Again,
it's been a while
a
since we've
different
gotten
backline
any touches
formation.
with the ball, any
Anton Del
proper
Rosario,
touches.
someone who has
So,
been their leader
we're just
off the
happy
pitch,
that we're here
most especially
with
on the pitch.
protocols and
His
anything.
vocal commands will be missed out for today, and we'll see how
ready.
this
We're ready.
backline
We're
will
all
respond and
really
how they can
eager to play.
adjust
We just
to not
wanna
having
get out
such
there
an
and play. We've been
impactful
looking
person
forward to
on
it
their
the whole
squad.
quarantine.
Control there by Montelibano, setting up Yuhiko. Yuhiko goes straight for it. Tough angle there.
And we talk about Yuhiko, he's a player that has done well for himself playing as a left back for the Arsenal. But this time around, it's refreshing to see him in an attacking position. He knows he has this. He tried his best to hold the wingers of the different squads, whether it's Caliantes, Porteria. You know, he was challenged a lot of times, but it's now we're going to see more of how he can
So now it's more
give impact, how he can create up on the attack.
Chance here for Maharlika after almost gaining possession.
To make sure that since we cannot simulate
Depe with
the
fancy
physical
feet there,
demand,
very assured
because of
defending, but almost
contact,
gave it away
the mental
immediately.
demand is still there. So at least a match
Depe,
fitness
time on
mentally,
the ball,
and
then
we
he
make
makes
sure
pass to
that it's there
Hajimedi.
so that hindi naman magulat yung mga players when we're during
Playing it
the
back here. High
competition
pressure here
proper.
from Maharlika.
Actually, to me, it's very good. It's a big challenge because you, as a coach, it challenges
operating on that left
everything
flank once more. Talking
that
about
you've
Mendiola.
learned and everything that you know. Because although the
Apia.
drills are there, you have to adapt
Swings
it
that around,
to the
looking for Flores.
IATF
Flores with Pitogo on him.
and the limitations again that we have. So you have to be very
Flores
imaginative,
cutting in the middle.
and you have to be able to convey that
Reha
message
could not
to the
control
players
it.
properly. And just set
The
expectations.
great movements from
and make sure
Flores.
that
This time we see
you
him
involve
playing
your
on
whole
that
coaching
far
staff,
side
your
on the
assistant
right.
coaches, your
But how
goalkeeper
quickly he's
coaches,
able to
your
cushion the
trainers,
ball,
everybody
cut
gets
in,
involved in
and try
making
to
sure
create
that the
chances
players
through the
perform.
middle.
No excuses because everybody's in the same boat. You know, it's not like there's different
Basa.
rules for us and different rules for others. No. So now
Long
it's
ball
really,
forward again. We've
a
seen that a
challenge
couple of
on
times right now. Basa
management,
trying to look for
coaching staff and
Montelibano.
the players to come together so that we can perform at our highest and our best.
Definitely Route
during the
1 football
competition.
there.
It's big of a boost because now that means I can actually get the most out of Balot Doctora without
You may
you know,
notice
burning
that
into
there
the
you
ground.
will probably hear
You know, I mean,
some
this guy's been
comments
with us
on the
from day
side.
one,
That is
and I wanna
because
make
Anton
sure
Del
that
Rosario, again,
we
not on the
get
bench.
at
He's
least
near
30
our
good minutes out
commentary
of him at a
position.
very high
It'll be very
level.
interesting to hear what
and
he has to
having
say.
Ricky there
Definitely. And of
actually
course,
helps a
he's
lot.
with
No,
Serge
we've
Paule,
also
who
moved Nathan Alcaraz to the inside, and we made
unfortunately
some
got
adjustments
injured
also to
early
some of our other
in that
players.
first game.
And it's working out pretty well. Well, you saw his
Pressure
picture.
there, very high pressure.
You saw how serious
And
he
Watara
is
did well
into
to get
making
rid
sure he
of it,
comes into
but
the
Maharlika
season in the best
pushing
shape of his life.
Well,
So,
way
you
up
know,
there.
I'll leave it at that. You know, this, like I said, you know, we understand age plays a role, but then, you know, I get 30 minutes
It's like
of high
sitting beside the
intensity.
center back
Balotas
right
are
now,
hard to
talking
stop.
about
We need them in
Del
matches.
Rosario right
Say,
beside us.
plain and simple. So I'm gonna
So technically, they
do
won't be
everything I
missing
can
his
to put him in
commands
the
Oh,
game.
no,
because
definitely not.
he will still
He
be
might not start, but I'm telling you,
giving
he's gonna finish.
encouragement from the
McDaniel-
sidelines for his
McDaniel, to me,
Maharlika
will be
squad.
the,
I feel like
a
I have
big
to pressure
surprise
Mendiola
for
right now,
a
actually.
lot of people are
With him right beside us.
Him coming here for the SEA Games was a
Depe,
great experience
down
for
long
him.
ball forward.
And that's one of the reasons he
Well,
decided to come
Mendiola
back
been
and play
favoring that left
professionally
side
because
so
he really
far.
loved this experience with the U22 during the season.
Course on
For
the
this
left side,
season,
Alquiche
AFC or
has
bust.
been a common target.
That's
But so far,
what
Amisola
the
and
players
Beaton
have in
on
mind.
that
They're
left,
putting- they're
on the
sacrificing
far
a lot
end, have been
financially,
doing well to
you
really
know,
bury
even
the
with their
attack
health and everything, so
coming in
it's AFC or
from
bust.
Mendiola.
So we have to make
Lujico
sure.
trying to get past in Depe. No foul there, since the referee basically wrapped his leg around in Depe, who looked like he didn't feel it. That's how strong he looks.
This is Bienve Marañón. I'm playing a striker, and
We
my
have the
club
likes of
is
Apia and
United City.
Briseño holding the ball for the Mendiola squad, trying to really be more creative up on top.
I started play
Pushing
football
forward for
when I was young,
Mendiola.
but
Chance here
I
again.
I was talking about
who
this
has
many
the
times
pace?
because I come
Qatar
from the street.
getting
I
to it
come
first.
from a very humble
Great run
family,
from
so
Endete,
I
of
don't have
course,
the
to just
chance to
really
join to the
usher
club
out
in the
Beaton's
early
run.
age. So I play in the
Or
street
Libre's run
until
for that matter.
when I was 10 years old. One guy from one club, he called me to join them, and after that I was growing so fast. I went to
And there he is.
good
just
academic,
screaming for them to
and
move.
then after that I play as a professional.
I think the
When I was
plus side of
16
being
years
football
old,
is the
I
fact that
start
we can hear everything
getting
on
my
the
first
field.
salary until
The
right now
demands,
that
the
every
frustration,
single year I was
trying
improving in that. So
to lay
for
that
me,
to you as much as
I play
possible.
football to enjoy,
As long as you don't
and also I
exclude
play
any
football because I
and
take
here's
this
a chance
one
now
like
for
my job.
Montelibano,
I want to
almost
get my
breaking
salary.
through
As
Qatar
better I
quickly.
play, better will be my salary.
Come
So
out from
that is my
Dini
intention.
Otara.
I enjoy the game, but also we have to look
That's
for
going to be
our
something that
future.
will
Yeah, mean a lot
really
because
be something for
after
this Mendiola
Tere is
squad
not
to
here
adjust
anymore,
on.
for us
You
it's so
have
difficult, especially for me that
Montelibano really just
I'm a foreigner.
lurking
It's
by
more
the
difficult
last man.
to go out to
Back to Basa.
go
Basa's
to
been
another
playing
country
long
because as a
balls,
foreigner
throughout.
everything
Libre
become
now.
difficult. But now
Being hounded by
I appreciate
Hajimedi.
them that they want to
just
get
couldn't
me.
get Libre
They want to get me
off
to
the ball.
play in this
Eventually
league,
does.
to play for this season.
Just released it a
and
little
I
bit
appreciate.
too
So
late.
after Ceres, I think this is a
Libre
very
has
good
been
chance
one of the surprise
to
packages
show our
here in
skill
the
and especially
PFL.
mine. Yeah, I think PFL
Very nice to see
is
someone
improving a lot.
who's
Every single
homegrown,
year they improve a lot.
really making a
For me, it's
difference
very
this
sad
season.
that this
Definitely,
this
and
season
as we
when
talked about
everything
as
was
well,
better,
Fornea, Libre,
we
the
stopped.
connection in the middle,
They was preparing the season
going to be
very,
something to
very,
build
very
on for
good.
this Maharlika
In
squad.
January,
Mendiola
February,
on the
they
attack
was
again.
working very hard to
Strong
give
tackle.
us the best
And-
thing for football, and unfortunately, this
Lawless
came
there.
out. So because this virus, everything stopped. So for me, that is very sad because PFL was ready to do the best of them. But it's okay. Now we have to
That's
look
a
forward.
strong
We have to look
tackle
for them.
coming in
They are
from
doing really
Lawless,
good. They prepared this
who, as we
stadium
talked about, is registered as an
really, really
attacker,
good
but is
with
slotted in as
the
that
billboard here
centre-back
around.
position.
I think they are doing a good schedule. They are doing everything good. So
Possibly
now
got
we
more
have
man
to
than
enjoy.
ball.
We have to play every single game like a final because this season will be even more difficult because it's just 5
Flores
games.
standing
Will
over
be
this
a
one.
final every single game.
Now they allow
And hopefully
Mendiola
the league is going
try
well.
to capitalize
We
from a
we are going
set-piece
well also.
situation.
We
Well,
can
correction,
enjoy
it's not just
football.
Flores, it's 4 people standing over this one. Polinag, Hajimedi, Flores, and it looks like Apia is there. So eventually,
Porteria still. Porteria with a great cross.
both teams feeling like they can get it on the break with clear intentions of how they want to attack. So the
Live
question
from
now
the
is,
PFF
which team
National
will get
Training
first to
Center
take a
in
free kick
Carmona,
again?
Cavite. It's your morning
Definitely,
football
both squads,
action
you
from
can
the
see,
Philippines
as compared to
Football
all their
League,
matches,
brought to you
actually, is
by
that
Qatar
they've had more
Airways.
chances
Jing
to
Hamlang
put the ball in the middle,
and
both teams still trying to
Darren
feel it out,
Hartman
but you
calling
can
the
see
action
the
for you on
intention
this
really to
morning. We've
attack
got an
and get the
intriguing matchup
points.
to kick off 3 exciting
there from
matches
both
in the PFL
squads.
today.
Apia?
2 teams desperate to bounce back from heartbreaking defeats in their last outing just 3 days ago. We've got Mendiola FC
Noble offered a
9091
short
looking
option.
to bounce back from a 6-0 mauling at the
Ended
hands
up
of
with
United
him
City,
anyway,
and
but
ADT
then
looking
so
to
many
bounce
white
back
shirts
as
converged on
well
him as soon as he
from
took a
2
touch. Apia
narrow defeats
just
against
heaving
the
that
most
forward, and that'll go
established
away
clubs
harmlessly for a goal
in the
kick.
league. It's an intriguing contest, Darren.
Mendiola
These two sides
just couldn't
desperate
work
for
on
their
the touch.
first
They tried
points.
to play it short, but quick movements from Melvin Petogo. He went straight to the man carrying the ball and just stopped that cross from even happening.
Looking for the run of Montelibano again, and you have to feel that Maharlika eventually get that ball through. They'll be able to have a clear shot on goal. Operating again on that left flank. Finding the run. Lawless defending. Good pass forward, but that is eventually ushered out.
And that was a good run by Jerry Barbaso. Really, that whole defensive mentality as well. You know, he's quick to help on the attack, but he came for that run, and crucial to have a man on Nebreja on that occasion.
Second corner here for Mendiola. just over there from Indepe. That was a great opportunity. Would be disappointed with that for sure.
Definitely, that was a great ball given straight to that far post. He had no man on him, and the nearest man would have been a mismatch anyways by height, and he just couldn't keep it on target. And so far, that actually has been the question for this Mendiola squad, because they have not scored a goal in this season.
Yuhiko. He has one man in the box. Flores taking his time now, trying to build slowly from the back for Mendiola. Now Apia. Almost loses it out. Barbaso coming up way high.
Good pressure coming in from Jerry Barbaso, really forcing that error on Apia.
Free kick here for Mendiola.
Definitely this game will really be something to work on for this Mendiola squad. You know, so far, as we said, they can build up from that momentum they had against Kaya. Getting that draw that, you know, really made headlines for everyone.
Well, that draw was basically what was the difference between the title, or a chance at the title, and settling for a disappointing finish for Kaya. And Mendiola, as much as we talk about the deficiencies of Kaya that time, we have to talk about just how great they were, how solid they were in terms of their defense. And let's see if that can hold up here with a more attacking formation. Pitogo operating on the right side, lost it to Flores, and Flores with the foul. Flores adamant that he got the ball first, but Pitogo feels otherwise.
Pitogo, of course, slow to get back up after the challenges of Flores. You could say that he got the man first before really getting the ball. But definitely, as we were talking about this Mendiola side working on their defense, it's going to be interesting to see how they can be clinical on the attack.
Well, their defense is about to be tested again. MJ Libre trying to stay on the ball.
Great movements from Libre. Again, just really a player that has been impressing. Again, swinging it out wide.
Chance here, and almost the opener. Boy, Montelibano. What a golden opportunity here.
And it all started from Libre. That pass to Beaton on the right flank. Good quality cross coming in from Beaton. And Montelibano really just couldn't get a touch to that. Just a few inches off. Could have been the best chance that we've seen. Could have been the opening goal.
Well, he is listed as a defender, and we all know, though, he can get the goals. In fact, was the first goal scorer for this Maharlika team.
So far, we've seen one great chance each for each squad. Apia, of course, just again, as we talked about, clinical with the headers. And the same time now with Maharlika, Montelibano just couldn't find the frame. But something to build up from for both squads.
MJ Libre getting into it there with Hamed Hajimedi.
And the two impact players, I'd say, for both squads, Libre and Hamed. It's going to be a battle throughout the whole day.
Well, it was nice that they weren't really screaming at each other there. It seemed like a polite conversation at the very least. Back to Watara, taking his time, very calm, very composed. Indepe now to Apia. We talked about that strong spine that Mendiola have come up with. Now going on the left flank. Altiche on the ball again. Trying to cut that to Hamed. Still Altiche. Giving it to Briseño. Flores offering an option on the right. Puts that in, and a chance, and almost. Nebreja just missing there, unable to get any real good contact or have it on target as well.
Great to see end-to-end action here today. And that build-up actually came all the way from the back. But let's take first a look at the replay. Briseño making the run around, passing it to Flores. Flores giving a quality ball right behind the back line. And Nebreja just couldn't find that perfect touch to really test Bendequen. But if you saw how that play started, that all came from the goalkeeper. Calm and composed. He didn't give it out long, even with the pressure on him. Passed it to the center back. They created all the way from the back to have that chance. So it was a beautiful teamwork for Mendiola.
Libre trying to look for that incisive pass once more. Now on the right side. Montelibano again, the lone man in there, but Indepe first to the ball.
And the distribution again of Dinio Otara when it comes from the back. Able to keep it down despite the pressure, able to translate his passes into short ball passes and connect.
Barbaso won the ball and now on the attack. Barbaso taking a look at what he's done. Such a veteran in the game, such a veteran in the Philippine football scene. He's had a couple of stints with the national team and really has been one of the servants of Philippine football throughout the years.
And even from this angle, you could see that Coach Dan Padernal, all the way on the other side, seemed to be frustrated. But you don't know if it's whether the call or with the squad so far.
Oh, and that was almost a fortuitous ball there for Maharlika.
That was a miscommunication, most especially between the center backs. The delivery from Lawless inside the box, allowing the ball to bounce. It went out eventually.
Well, but that could have resulted in a messy situation there for Mendiola. It's an offside there for Nebreja.
That's like the number one no-no as well, allowing number one the delivery to enter the box and letting it bounce inside.
Well, you talk to any youth coaches, they're telling their kids right now, don't let the ball bounce. That's why. Yohiko trying to get it done on the left flank. Briseño wins it. Now to Flores. Flores on the attack. Basa in front of him. Oh, and Basa, you can't do that to him simply because he just knows what to do, but he loses the ball there. Yohiko trying to track back here.
Good win back by Petogo.
Petogo looking for Yohiko, and the pass was just behind him.
But you saw that quick build-up from Briseño, quickly winning back possession, saw the run of Flores. Flores with a bit of too much confidence there, thinking that he could nutmeg David Basa. They won back the ball.
But had he pulled that off, we're talking about it in a completely different light. Sandoval asking for the ball. He
Definitely
eventually gets it. Flores. Briseño. Back to Flores. Flores asked for it from Sandoval, eventually got it. Yohiko back defending, now attacking Basa again.
Great works from David Basa at the back. And you see him, he just knows right away, quick on his instinct.
Libre trying to go on a little run of his own and could not beat the last man.
Beat one, beat two, but the third was just too much for him.
Trying to find that channel on the right side again, but the pass will fall harmlessly outside.
And you could also see this better connection for this Maharlika side. So Carl Amisola making that overlapping run on that right flank. Take a look at MJ Libre, man. This kid from Tondo really just been making headlines for this PFL League 2020.
Well, we saw a couple of mazy runs today in particular. So this morning, if you missed it, Gallantes went on a Nice little run of his own, but unfortunately wasn't able to cap that off with a goal or an assist. And this time around, MJ Libre beat two, couldn't beat the third. Chance now for Mendiola. Altiche couldn't save it. From Decanfong. Now to Basa. Now down the middle to Yuhiko. Yuhiko loses out to Sandoval. Apia looking for the run of Flores. Pitogo was a bit too high there. Flores eventually gets it. Flores, patient. Going to Hajamadi. Briseño. Back to Hajamadi. Apia. Good defense there from Barbaso. Just imposing his body. Chance here for Maharlika to go on the break again.
Great movements from Libre to hold the ball, send it out wide, makes the run again.
Boy, it's hard to get MJ Libre off the ball. Barbaso playing that forward but unable to find any run.
But they already, this time around, this is something to build on for Maharlika Manila. Having MJ Libre there at that center midfield position, he's able to connect the runs, keep the ball. He's a player who is capable of keeping that ball close to him and delivering that passes for the wingers.
Miscontrol there. From Amisola, so chance here. Altiche on the left flank. Looking for the run of Nebreja. Gives it back to Hajamadi. Hajamadi. Not sure who that was for, but either way, Maharlika get it.
Hajamadi trying to anticipate the run of Flores, but Flores held back.
Playing that to the middle. Montelibano. Now Pitogo. Pasa. Barbaso. Maharlika content to build from the back again, very patient. Very confident, but so far no real forward movement coming from Maharlika. Barbaso trying to find Beaton. Barbaso again. Beaton able to control that. And Pitogo gets it. Flores unable to really anticipate that one.
This time around, Maharlika really enjoying much more of the possession as Fornea is leading the attack.
Fornea shifts it to the side. Yuhiko, can he find Montelibano? Watara there to collect.
You could see different imposing sides from Mendiola and this Maharlika side so far. Mendiola trying to play it quickly, and Maharlika so far trying to play it much more slowly, enjoying possession.
Fornea wins that back, anticipated. Lawless. Now Barbaso. Beaton plays it all the way back. Again, this is the most confidence-felt possession for Maharlika, but then the question is, can they threaten? Just as they play it forward, he loses out. Sandoval wins it back. Flores trying to find the run of Altiche. Altiche has a bit of space. Pulls up for the shot, and oh, that's fantastic! Will they count it? Eventually, Nebreja bundles it in!
And what a goal! Quality team effort from Mendiola. That pass from Flores, finding the wing, finding Altiche, taking that shot. If we had goal line technology, we never would have known that first bounce just really right down the middle.
Let's take a look at that one more time.
Great pass from Flores, finding the run of Altiche right outside the box, takes a chance, hits the post, but the second ball falls perfectly for Nebreja, and that header right inside an empty net.
Well, let's see here if it actually crossed the line the first time. And boy, that actually did. So that should be counted. But let's see what the match officials say.
Let's take a closer look in this angle.
Oh, clearly inside.
Ooh.
So that was a fantastic goal from Altice. But whether or not the officials actually caught that one is really in question. But either way, it is 1-0 for Mendiola.
And whether they got that or not, you knew that they had insurance.
Oh.
Nebraha was there. He got the second ball, and he made sure.
Wait, well, what a strike from outside. Easily, well, depending if they credit that to Altice, that would be a candidate for one of the goals of the season for sure. Or at least well up there.
And this is how Mendiola were talking about, that their style is that quick counterattack. And so far, they're able to translate, getting their first goal so far in this season. That was quick movements, as we said, from Flores, one back possession, saw the run right away of Altice. So great eye from Flores, finding the run across and that space.
Well, Mendiola, bit in the ascendancy here. Now finding Flores. Ooh, that's a lovely flick here, trying to get it past Pitogo. Eventually does. Now Flores took it himself, and that is far wide. Not to trouble Bendecan Foam.
But you could see now that sense of confidence coming in from these Mendiola players. They went over that first hurdle, of being able to score in the league. And they did it in very fashionable and impressive style.
Well, Maharlika will be disappointed conceding, especially when they felt that they were having a more controlled spell of possession.
You could say that they actually had more of the possession so far. The problem there was that they sent, as we talked about the shots though, Mendiola with 5 and only 1 so far for Maharlika.
Well, let's see if they can change that here. Now attacking from the right flank. Just one option really left for the white shirts. And you have to feel that maybe the movement in the attacking third is a problem for Maharlika on the attack at least. MJ Libre trying to find Pitogo. Pitogo's first touch lets him down. Couldn't take it on stride. Hajimadi or Hajimedi. He says that you can call him either way, which really makes it hard for us commentators.
Great movements from Hamed to be able to swing that and keep it.
Lawless there to clean that up.
Just couldn't time that give and go.
Playing it forward now, and Beaton unable to reach that.
And you talk about as well that goal that happened. They are playing, Maharlika's playing 4 in the back, but they're sending their wing backs, which is Pitogo and Omesola, way up high.
Well, the goal that we saw a while ago was the first goal of Mendiola this season, and you know what? It was fantastic.
Worth the wait.
Definitely worth the wait here, and you never know. There could be more in the cards here, either today or against Stallions for what is effectively the final game of the season.
Of course, if Mendiola get that win in this matchup, they'll have 3 points alongside with Maharlika with 3 points. Stallion will have 2 points only so far, and that last matchup between Mendiola and Stallion will determine who will have that number 4 spot in the standing.
Oh, MJ Libre loses it. Now Hamed Hajimedi trying to find a run of Flores. Flores now on the right side. Pushed a bit too far. Sandoval had to play it first time. But Basel loses the header. Now beaten. He has a man on him. Trying to turn and find the run of Pitogo. Eventually Sandoval wins it back. Flores says no, take it slowly. As Briseño takes it, now back to Sandoval.
It was good timing from Sandoval to win the ball back before the counter-attack could even start for Maharlika.
All of a sudden, it is Mendiola with all of the ball here. Looking at the much more dangerous side. Apia. Has been the pivot here at the back for Mendiola. Not as much urgency here for Mendiola as they're probing the entire formation, really, of Maharlika.
Well-timed run.
Altice. Back to Flores, and he tried to cut inside quickly, unable to get that through. Beaten. Can Maharlika hold on to the ball a bit more here? Libre has it, and just bundled over by Apia.
Just the physicality of Apia really overpowering Libre at that moment.
Well, MJ Libre, he has been the target of a lot of punishment in the sense that they know that they probably can't take it off his feet, so using their bodies to really make them feel pressure. Beaten with the run on the right side. Can he latch onto this one? Yes, he can. Ball in, and that's to the side netting.
Couldn't keep that ball in play. But you also have to really give it to this Mendiola side. Take a closer look as Beaton makes that run on the right flank. Tries to really whip that inside the box. But not much of space or angle left.
Of course, Montalibano had no chance to get to it as well. Well, so far, at least when you look at the attacking movements of Maharlika, still, Montalibano, a lonely man in the box, really. Not a lot of white shirts for the wingers to target.
But it's going to be a long day for this Maharlika backline. As you could see, the number of players that they have up on top lining up against that backline of Maharlika.
Sandoval whips that in low, but Neconfon collects. Playing that quickly forward to Montalibano, but that's too far away. There's a breeze here that would affect a bit of the long balls.
And so far, the quality of passes, most especially the long balls of Maharlika, really just haven't making the connections with the players up on top.
So Mendiola, since their goal, have looked good value for their lead.
You could say this is actually the best game of Mendiola so far. Just even that confidence to hold the ball, to keep possession. If you saw in a lot of their other matches, they were just, once they got possession, they just quickly threw it up on top. But this is the first time that we're seeing Mendiola really keep possession, finding the gaps, just like that one. The whole midfield line was already beat by that one pass.
Opportunity here again for Mendiola, cutting it back. Flores has it. Barbaso offers pressure. They play quickly inside. Briseño's run is cut out. Chance again for Mendiola, and the pressure is on the Maharlika back line.
The best that we've seen Mendiola so far. Great run of pass. The number of men that Mendiola have up on top, really testing this defensive line of Maharlika. And it all started with that pass. The defensive line of the midfield of Maharlika were literally just one whole line, and that pass to Flores beat them all.
Ahmed, who finds Indepe. Indepe cuts that back. Barbaso with the clearance. Indepe had that opportunity a while ago that could have opened up the game early on.
So far, we're seeing Mendiola on the driving seat, really taking control of the tempo of this matchup.
Sandoval. Apia with a lot of time here. Not a lot of pressure from Maharlika. Indepe gets it. Indepe with a defender's finish.
Second time that we've seen Indepe on that attacking end. That ball just fell perfectly. It was a great ball. Mistimed header from Carla Misola, falling perfectly for Indepe.
Apologies to all of the defenders who I may have offended with that last comment, but still, Indepe skied that badly.
It's good to see the number of people that this Mendiola squad are sending up on top, sending in for the attack. It's not anymore just one or two players. They're attacking as a team.
Shifting that now to the left. Apia now deployed a bit as a left back here as Mendiola trying to attack for pace. Lawless with a crucial touch, and the ball's played all the way back to Bandek and Fong.
But you can see the movements as well for Mendiola. When you take a look at Apia and Hamed Hajimedi, these two players are actually playing a more free-flowing role, not really just playing center midfield or on the wing. They're going down deep for the passes, going up on top.
Mendiola holding on to the ball well here. Apia now moving a bit more central again. Briseño finds Altiche, playing all the way back to Apia. Do you feel that this Maharlika team is lacking in terms of pressuring the ball, especially in the midfield?
I think a lot of it is mentally as well. When you take a look at that last game against ADT, they held ADT really well, but once the penalty was given, they just reacted to the penalty rather than reacting to the game and trying to hold back that good run that they had. And after so far that Mendiola has scored, it's still Mendiola now on the attacking role. It was fairly 50-50 right before it.
Fornea trying to find a run of Beaton. Watara quick to it, and offside anyway. The flag is up. So really, what you're saying is that the question is on how will Maharlika react to this, and the question, at least early on, is that it's pretty poorly.
Definitely, because when you take a look at how they played, they were able to match up. They have been matching up. But once the opponent scores, it's the reaction really that sets it up for the other squad. In that game against Stallion, they were able to come up answers in the second half.
Oh, a chance here for Briseño. Flag is down. Makes the pass and might be too much. And the flag is up, and the decision making there suspect at the last moment for Briseño.
Definitely. That is very disappointing from this Mendiola side. They could have made it 2-0. Briseño was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. He could have taken a shot. He passes it not backwards but forward, but of course his teammate was already in that offside position. He could have taken that chance. It was also part of it is that confidence to be able to take shots on goal.
A bit of selfishness was required there as well.
Exactly. It was too unselfish from him.
You know, it's good to be a nice guy, and I know Briseño personally. I know he's a nice guy, but maybe on that occasion, probably should have been a bit more selfish. Well, take a look at that. So Mendiola definitely is winning the possession battle here, 53-47, compared to Maharlika.
But when you take a look at that possession stats like that, that's technically 50-50.
But really, it's 53-47. But I understand your point. Playing the ball forward now, and it is still too long. So far, the Maharlika attacks have been limited to either long balls to Montelibano or trying to get the wingers through and crossing it for Montelibano. But even when they do get the crosses in, not enough bodies to target in the middle for Maharlika.
Definitely. It's just been scrappy so far for this Maharlika side when it comes to finding their attacks. And also defensively, it's been posing questions for them as well.
Costly turnover here for Mendiola. Fornea. I don't know if you could hear it, but then our Anton Del Rosario.
He said, "Give it to Charlie." So it's more of just.
Oh, that is great! That is great production there, coming from a direct. Oh no, wait, that was you. Pitogo playing it inside.
But you could see that frustration coming in from this Maharlika side. Charlie Beaton is free all the way on that right flank. And the midfield just not being able anymore to find the passes out wide or find the free men.
Well, a chance here for Maharlika to threaten from the corner. But physically speaking, in terms of height, they are at a disadvantage here. So interesting to see how they can come up with a goal here, or at least threaten the goal. Corner whipped in. Couldn't beat the first defender. Now Mendiola have the chance to go on the attack. Flores has a bit of room. Nebrea. Almost losing it. Talking about Mendiola.
And you can see Maharlika now opting for the high press up down the line, forcing the defense of Mendiola to make those mistakes.
Chance again for Maharlika. Extended spell of possession here on the Mendiola half. Deep in their territory. Libre could not find the run there of Beaton. Beaton unable to make a run actually. Hajimedi now on the break. Nebreha on the left. Altiche on the right. Good stop. Chris Lawless there with a crucial tackle, but gives it away directly to Indepe.
Just a late challenge there on the left flank
Amisola
by
feeling it,
Polinag.
yeah.
Amisola was quick to win back possession, but the run of Polinag really just throwing Amisola down.
Maharlika attacking through the middle this time. And Depe, boy, what a strong body again. Just really shrugged off the attacker to get to the ball. Flores trying to latch onto that lofted pass by Hajimedi. And Pitogo using his body well, shielding that.
Great movements from Pitogo to really close down.
Pass too long there.
This has been so far one of the things that Maharlika need to work on, really. It's just the quality of their passes. Whether it was Jerry Barbaso up on top or passes down the middle, it's really the quality of their passes, completed passes, really.
Then you also have to feel that this is still a team that's still getting to know each other. Again, fairly new. And some of them have played against each other, but really it's the playing with each other that is still a question mark for this Maharlika team. Pia playing it forward to Briseño. Briseño, his space was immediately taken away. Fornea. Try and look for an open man, eventually finding Libre. Libre now operating on the left side. Shifting it to the right, and that is well too wide.
And this time around, Fornea and Libre connecting, causing a bit of trouble up on top. Final product wasn't there, but the confidence of Libre on the ball, his eye for taking chances, the confidence as well to take chances. The chance went begging, but the fact that his eye for the game, really his football IQ on this 11-a-side matchup, as we talked about where he came from and where he started playing football, whether it was futsal or the Sevens League. It's his first test at 11-a-side, and there's a lot to build up on for this young man.
Offside, says the referee. Just a minute left before injury time, added time here in the first half, and Mendiola with a 1-0 lead off a goal from Nebreha, heading in a fantastic effort from Altiche, which replay showed actually should have been counted anyway. Shifting it to the right side now. More white shirts in the box. Ooh, and Watara getting to that.
Atara coming out strong to collect the cross. But it was better movements coming as well for this Maharlika side. The run of Pitogo connecting up on top, swinging, using Charlie Beaton finally on that right flank. Oof.
Tough tackle there coming from Polinag. Referee asking them to wait for the whistle.
Definitely a tough tackle by Polinag on Charlie Beaton.
1 minute of added time here. Basa launching it forward. Montelibono just over his head.
And the thing is that it was a great ball from Basa. This was the first cross coming in from Biton earlier, and Otara really just coming out big to collect it. But that second one from Basa as well, he gave it in the right direction. Montelibono was there. She's gonna get a touch on the ball. There was already, that could have been 2 chances for Maharlika.
Well, Mendiola, a poor passer, let them down, and the referee had his whistle to his mouth, but we'll let this play out first. Yohiko Barbaso, and the back pass and the whistle will signal the end of the first half. Mendiola, a 1-0 advantage off a goal from Nebreja after a fantastic effort from Altiche. 1-0, Maharlika Manila have it all to do here in the second half.
How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Q suite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air? One where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Support, nakukuha natin kagad yung bola. Careful, be careful. Roommate mo yan. Ay nako. Good. Now you're watching again. Ball watcher again. Good one, Carlo. Good one, Sam. Yan, Allen. That's the way, Allen. Nor, get fit. Press. Now follow. Kulas.
Abu, again. Good play.
Don't be ball watcher. Check man, check ball. Up. Go. Tara. Press. Allen. Press, Allen. Be careful, Nor. Be careful, ah. Now find opponent. Time. Water.
Welcome back to the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. This game is under the supervision and regulations of the Games and Amusements Board. 1-0 so far for Mendiola FC 9091. More shots, the only shot on target, and a couple of corners ahead of Maharlika Manila. 52% to 48% in terms of possession. That's practically 50-50 according to my partner here, Natasha Alquiroso. What do you think of the first half for both these teams?
Well, so far, of course, Mendiola have had the best of the two sides. They had great chances up on top. They were building up, and they got that opening goal, their first goal so far for the entire season. It was a quality team effort from Flores finding the run of Altice. He takes it first time, and that actually was a goal. When you take a closer look at that replay from behind, it could have been credited to Altice, but unfortunately, of course, there's no goal line technology right here. Look at that bounce. It bounced inside. You saw the turf granules go up. And of course, the insurance from Nebreja to make sure that it will be credited as a goal.
English football fans are shaking looking at a scenario like this in terms of hitting the bar, crossing the line, but really not counted there. But Nebreja there to make it count, 1-0. Impressive performance for Mendiola FC 1991 to end that first half. They are now kicking from the right to left of your screens, and Maharlika Manila on the other side. They are all in white tonight, rather this afternoon. And again, both these teams really fighting for pride and placement. And if you're Maharlika, you want to end your very first season in existence as high as possible. And if you're Mendiola, after holding Kaya to 0-0, an opportunity here to climb even higher. Nebreja could not get to that, but Fong gets to it.
Those were quick 1-2 connections between Nebreja and Flores, but the final touch was just a tad too strong there.
Tash, you were looking for a bit more of a response for Maharlika, especially after they conceded that first goal. What do you expect from them here now that Coach Roxy had the time to dig into them during the halftime break?
Well, you can see so far they've actually made a couple of adjustments. Jerry Barbaso is already playing back at the center back position. In the middle, you have Libre, Fornea, and Yuhiko. So you'd have, I guess, much more stability on the back, having Barbaso back in his more natural position. But of course, moving forward, it's really a lot about the quality of their touches, the quality of their passes that they're sending up on top.
Lawless conceded that foul. Haji Mehdi now a chance to whip it in with the in-swing. The obvious target would be Ndepe, the big center back, moving forward for Mendiola, waiting at the back post.
He has been at the receiving end of 2 set pieces in that first half.
One of the tallest players on the pitch, made even taller by his hair. Haji Mehdi whipping that in. Aims second post, and a close chance there. Flores couldn't get any contact to it. Almost a chance to double up there for Mendiola.
The delivery of Haji Mehdi was just spot on, finding the far post. The run of Flores was greatly well timed, but the header again, heading has seemed to be the problem for both sides in this matchup.
But yet the opener came from a header. Well, at least listed as the opener. Again, Altice deserves to be credited with that goal, but the limitations of goal line technology here means that it will go to Nebreja instead. Ndepe, back to Watara. Maharlika pushing very high now.
Definitely, they're getting the instructions now to pressure up on top.
Fornea.
Force the error.
Fornea puts it to the side. Not even on target here, but that was the best chance of Maharlika this half.
And a great response from Maharlika to start the second half strong, winning the ball from Fadregalan. Fornea tried to just dink it over the goalkeeper, but it ended up hitting the side netting. Best chance that we've seen so far for this Maharlika side.
Actually, I said the second half, rather the best chance the whole game, really. Ndepe now try and play it long. Charlie Beaton. Ndepe pushes it forward. Lawless trying to keep it, eventually does. Barbaso taking control here. Okay, finding Beaton. Polinag wins it. Trying to play it over Beaton, but loses it in the process. Now Barbaso, who was pushed forward here. Again, he played at the heart of defense to start out the opening minutes of the second half. Basa. Now Barbaso. Well, expect Barbaso to dictate the tempo from the middle for this Maharlika team. On the ball again.
See the number of players that they're sending up on top for Maharlika.
Again, they have different players for Maharlika that can make a difference here in their substitute bench. So let's see where they go. Montalibano trying to play a little 1-2 with Fornea, but then that was a poor pass. Play on, says the referee. Apia trying to find the run of Altice. Loses it though.
Have a lot of players down.
There's a man down here and Maharlika had to play it out.
And it's not good signs for Mendiola.
Ahmed Hajamedi holding on to the back of his head. Well, if you can hear the comments on the side there, that is Anton Del Rosario, who is not seeing action for Maharlika today. So if there are any expletives during the broadcast, we apologize, because we cannot control Anton.
But of course, very encouraging for now commands from Anton. You know, commending his Maharlika side for the high pressure that they're putting. And again, that has been the difference in the start of the second half. They were pressing much higher. They were pressing more compact up on top. The defense, there was no gaps. The defense was higher. The midfield line was higher. That the strikers were higher as well. They forced the errors in the back line for this Mendiola side. And that's how they were able to win that chance. They haven't been clinical when it comes to their finishing, but they are now asking the questions and they have the support up on top. They have the numbers up on top to go on the attack.
Change here for Maharlika. So that will be Mateo Hico checking out for Yannick Toazon.
And of course, Yannick Toazon, a player who has played for Stallion Laguna and the likes of Kaya FC, one of the more experienced players for this Maharlika squad. Let's see what impact he can bring to that side coming off the bench.
Well, Toazon is a known goal scorer, able to cut in and really be a danger. Let's see whether or not Coach Roxy Dorlas has that magic touch from the bench again. In their first victory, it was his two changes that got the 2 goals that gave them their first victory. Jeremy Toyer and Montelibano were the goal scorers.
Definitely, if we talk about coming from behind, and they did that in that matchup against Stallion Laguna. It's really the second half where they were able to find answers. They've been having a run of bad luck. 10-0 defeat, 5-0 defeat. But the question for today would be, how quick can they bounce back?
Everyone's wondering about that mentality. And right now, foul there for against Mendiola rather. So Maharlika a chance to whip it in. Again, it'll be very tough for them to get anything off the air from set pieces, considering that there is a distinct height advantage, size advantage, especially with Indepe. And of course, the other voice you hear right now is Serge Kaole, who was injured in 6 minutes in for Maharlika. And unfortunately is relegated to cheering on for his teammates here. Ball in for Maharlika. Yannick Toazon couldn't get any real contact.
Another great delivery from Basa. And worrisome a bit of defending for this Mendiola side. They had the numbers of defenders, but in the sea of red, Toazon was able to connect.
All the way back to Lawless now. Lawless being pressured by Hajimedi. Basa pushing that forward now for Nea. Quick feet there. Libre. Forward now to Toazon. Toazon has space on his left. Beaten. Back to Toazon. Unable to get the shot off. And a physical battle there between Beaton and Flores. You know, just a couple of dirty looks exchanged to each other, but apart from that, nothing much.
That was definitely also a result of a bit of frustration. They had the flow and the attack, the connections between Yannick Toazon and Beaton, but they had Petogo running right behind him, and they lost the ball in a chance to attack. Libre with the touch.
It's great close control, talking about Libre. But now the question is whether or not he can find those decisive passes from as soon as he holds on to the ball. Fornea trying to find Tuazon. Tuazon gets it. Libre. Back to Fornea. Fornea playing that forward but couldn't find the run of Beat It.
It was great intention there. They had players running right behind that left back. Just couldn't get there before Dini Otara.
More attacking play now coming from Maharlika. But question is, can they make it pay off? Basa. Back to Bendek and Fong. Lawless.
But Maharlika so far looking formidable in this second half. Starting out the first 15 minutes, first 10 minutes. Really on a good note.
Losing it in the middle of the park here. Flores pushing it forward. Flores now. Trying to find Hajimedi. He has a chance. Well, Hajimedi knows that he should have done better on that occasion. But that was incisive movement there from Mendiola. Almost caught Maharlika off guard. Coach Dan Padernal, you'll be happy with that sort of break, but would like to relieve some pressure that the Maharlika team has started to impose here. Tuazon looking lively off the bench. Unable to control it that time. Kicking that forward now, Hajimedi. Anton Del Rosario there, again very vocal in his support for his team and barking out instructions here. And typically, when you have someone in the crowd criticizing you, you won't listen. But then if he's doing it, you're probably listening if you're Maharlika. Foul there from Montelibano. Pulled back there, so Mendiola will play it forward.
Of course, Anton Del Rosario really has been the heart and soul of this Maharlika side. Really what he's done for the growth of Philippine football, whether it's that Sevens Football League for the youth, Men's Open, Women's Open, and now, of course, creating this club. And, you know, just having Philippine football something to cheer for, something to add on, a little spark for 2020.
Well, there is momentum now in Philippine football. Hopefully more clubs start to form, and not just any clubs, but quality clubs that can really challenge and increase the quality and competitiveness of this Philippines Football League. Again, very exciting times for Philippine football, and hopefully even through this pandemic, we can see exponential growth. Pull back for a foul here, and this could be a card. Oh no, rather not. This looked like he was reaching to his pocket. Yuhiko now in the middle. Out to Beaton. Beaton has a couple of options. He looked for Yuhiko. Yuhiko gets it. Back to Beaton. Otara there to collect. Oh. Rather, that was Tuazon. Altiche offside. Easy call for the referee.
Much more compact work from this Maharlika squad.
Beaten. Final run of Tuazon. Tuazon beat the keeper, but can he get it in off the tight angle? No, he cannot. Ball still in though. Montelibano gets it. Amisola. Lawless gets it. Maharlika trying to build up again. Long ball forward, finds no one. Yuhiko, or rather, Tuazon in an offside position.
Pasa tried to connect with him, but Tuazon already knew he was in an offside position and didn't continue the run, just to let the play continue.
Libre with the foul. So attack on another foul to the foul count actually, so that should be 9 and 7. Well matched these two clubs are, as Maharlika and Mendiola have clearly had their opportunities.
Definitely, and this match so far has been good for the confidence of both squads and really just for helping them build out of something. And we've seen what both clubs can do when they are on the attack, when they send the numbers forward. But of course, still 1-0 in favor for Mendiola, but the fight is far from over. Maharlika sending in those chances up on top.
Montelibano battling with Apia. He loses out. Mendiola had the numbers, but Basa with the header. Briseño trying to push it forward. No fouls as the referee. Hajamedi holding off Barbaso. Kicks that to the left to Polina. Altiche right now on the left flank. On the attack here. Gives it back to Hajamedi. Now Altiche. Could not find Hajamedi. And a chance here for Maharlika. Tuason unable to keep it. Throw in deep within white territory.
And there's been a lot of high-tempo football, especially in the last couple of minutes up on top.
Jimedi sends that in, but it's straight to Bendekan Fong. Tuazon attacking through the middle, shifting it wide left.
And a crucial interception by Sandoval to stop that counter-attack.
Beaten. Cornea. Couldn't find the run of Beaten there. Instead just found a defender. Apia now back on the ball. Briseño. Now Apia. What a run here. Can he go at it by himself? Almost does.
And what work from Apia. Literally, after winning back possession that came almost from the half line, just continued his run all the way right outside the box. Takes a shot a bit far on wide left. But it's just the quality and the vision that he has.
Substitution coming here soon for Mendiola. Gasian will check in just a moment. Coming in for John Nebreja, the goal scorer.
And as we talked about that chance earlier from Apia, he was a good add-on to this Mendiola squad, who lost a lot of their, you can't help it that they had a strong team. They were forming really well, but they lost a lot of their players to other clubs and ADT as well. They used to have Diano and Marzan, who ended up with ADT. Also the likes of Ricky Sendra, Alan Angeles, who ended up with Stallion Laguna. And the pickup of Apia as that from Green Archers United has been crucial, and it's showing in this matchup. He's very composed on the ball. He's a speedy player and is connecting really well in that center mid role alongside with Briseño and Hamed Hajamedi.
Well, Nebreja is being walked off the field, but anyway, that was the intended substitution of Coach Dan Padernal. Fourth official and referee just conversing a bit here, making sure everything's in order. If you're Mendiola, despite all the key losses that you mentioned, Tash, should be happy with how they're performing here in particular against a team with some experienced players.
Took them a while to build on, most especially in their first two outings, but that matchup against Kaya, really just being the underdogs in that match and stunning everyone with a draw, really helped something for them to build on coming into this match and clinching on that first goal and taking the lead so far in this matchup.
Pasa. Barbaso now to MJ Libre. Finding the run of Barbaso, but that is well off. Apologizes for the pass. And, as much as we praise MJ Libre for the way he has burst into the scene here in the Philippines Football League, still obviously a lot of room to grow.
Definitely a lot to grow from, but as we talk about Libre and the likes of Pitogo. It's nice to see. They're really like beams of light and hope for local football, for players who are coming from Tondo, local players, to know that to keep dreaming. You know, they're making a difference here. He has been talk of the town for this Maharlika squad.
Foul there on Amisola, so another chance here for Mendiola to whip it in. And if you're Maharlika, you hope that you don't run out of gas here, because they started out the second half trying to be more active. But the question is, can they keep those energy levels up? Polinag almost loses out there. Trying to battle with Libre.
And you can see things have been heating up between Libre and Polinag.
Well, you know, Libre may be young, but he definitely doesn't want to back down.
And that's one of the things that you like to see. Is that these young players coming out guns blazing, not afraid to stand their ground.
Good header away. Unfortunately, just finds another red shirt. Playing that forward now to Flores. Flores on the attack, taking on Basa. No one there to receive it though. Chance here for Mendiola. Altiche. Not that time. Back to Flores. Flores trying to play a little 1-2. Gets it back.
So
Chance
far,
again.
Mendiola doing well on those one-on-one battles with the players in the back.
Well, that's skied high and wide. And Pangasinan coming in as a sub, trying to get into action early.
But another worrisome sign when it comes to those individual brilliance so far for this Mendiola squad. Imagine how long they were able to keep possession in the attacking third, right outside the box.
Long ball again, unable to find Montalibano. That has been one of the themes of this Maharlika thrust going forward, and unable to really make it count so far.
Definitely Montalibano playing that number 9 role, but so far really just hasn't found his footing in this matchup. Couldn't connect to the chances thrown to him up on top. And we'll see what substitution coach Roxy Darlas has. Again, he has the likes of Epeso, a tall player that could come in. I guess it's just a matter of when.
Well, with Epeso, who's a completely different player from Montalibano, it'll be interesting to see if they employ him. Will they change the way that they play? Especially when if their forward man is a bit stronger compared to Pacey.
Padregalan doing well to cut out the pass of Beaton.
Now operating on the right flank again, Pangasinan. Playing it forward to Flores. Oh, and that was just behind there for Briseño. MJ Libre, one man on him. Montalibano. Playing that inside. Cornea. He's been very active for Maharlika in the middle.
Definitely quality work from Fornea, really picking and cutting out those passes.
Pitogo couldn't get to it, trying to play a little 1-2.
And smooth work from Sandoval, really just passing it on back to Padregalan.
Pangasinan. Moving forward there, Tuazon gets it. Marbaso asking for it, trying to look for any movement really. That entire right flank is empty for Maharlika. Playing it all the way back now. Basa.
So far it's good to see
Lawless.
Maharlika side trying to keep possession.
Amisola kicks that to Lawless. Lawless out muscled by Indepe. Still trying to battle there, and no fouls as the referee. Boy, that was a hand up. Apia finding Altiche, taking on Barbaso. Altiche gives that back to Apia. Apia. Could he find Hamed Al-Jamedi? Not that occasion. That'll be a handball.
Just a quick sequence of events. The transition from defense onto attack. Lawless is down all the way on that opposite end of the pitch.
Well, Lawless battled hard to retain possession, lost out, and obviously feeling the after effects of that. Well, Maharlika have been pressing more. They have been trying to be the more attacking team here, but Mendiola doing just enough to really avoid any crucial threats to their own back line.
Which also gives credit to the defensive line of this Mendiola side, where you have the likes of Polinag, Endepe, Fadrigalan, and Sandoval.
Tuazon has been very active as a substitute for Maharlika, but really yet to threaten. Barbaso. Amisola's making a run. Barbosa trying to chase it. Amisola rather trying to chase it. Libre has it, trying to take on Endepe. Eventually does. And referee eventually pulled it back for a foul.
And that was a work from Libre. Really challenging on two players. They tried to play out the advantage, and as soon as it was seen that he could not get the advantage, the referee then blew his whistle.
Substitution coming up soon, so it will be Epeso coming in for Montelibano. And Amisola will be checking out as well.
And as we talked about, really just the impact that Epeso could have in this matchup. And the other substitution as well is the late goal scorer in that match against Stallion Laguna, Jeremy Thoyer, coming in again as a sub.
So very attacking substitutes here. Epeso and Thoyer coming in, as well as Tuazon a while ago. So the intent is there, but can they deliver the product? Charlie Beaton standing over this one with his electric pink shoes. Hard to miss. Good ball in. Watara there to punch that away.
That was quality delivery from Beaton. But Dini Otara was just quick to react and punch the ball out of danger.
Peso, Barbaso, Charlie Beaton again. Unable to really control that one, and handballs as the referee just bounced off it. 72 minutes played here as Mendiola still up 1-0. Take a look at this one more time. MJ Libre beat one and received contact, but credit to him for trying to play on. Endepe leaves that forward. Thoyer with the ball.
Of course, Endepe just clearing the ball out of danger. Restart again at the back for Maharlika.
There's a bit of a gap here between the midfield and defense of the Maharlika team. Thoyer. MJ Libre now.
You see how quick the give and go opening up in the center Libre and Fornea have been.
Trying to find a run of Beaton, almost did so. Chance there for Beaton, and it was really a 50-50. Watara getting on the receiving end of that one.
It was definitely just a hard tackle on Dini. And that was also from the quality of the pass back from Fadrigalan, heading it back to Dini Otara.
Well, let's take a look at that. So a poor header there, and both of them were really out for the ball. It's just that the studs of Beaton going up there may have been a bit dangerous had it made contact to Watara.
You can see his vision was also just, he was trying to go straight for the ball, but as you said, having your studs out and just really the tackle hitting on to Dini Otara, who has been crucial, has been crucial really for this matchup. Came out strong. He's a big keeper. The well-timed punches to keep this Mendiola side with that 1-0 advantage.
Fadrigalan will be checking out soon in favor of Dave Deloso. At least that was what the board showed a while ago.
But it's good to see Dini Otara back on his feet after that strong challenge.
You know, Otara went up for that ball. He basically chest first, face first. And take a look at it again. They always say that if you're a keeper, you're going to have to be a little bit crazy. And that's a key example why.
But in terms of that challenge, actually Beaton was lucky not to get a yellow card on that. And just shows to show as well the guts of what goalkeepers bring on this stage.
You like a certain goalkeeper, right, Tash?
You may say that.
Yeah. Shout out there to who I'm sure is watching and reviewing her performance. Very own Philippine Azkals, Thai League superstar, and Patrick Data. Hello, my friend. As Tasha is now blushing under her face mask. Ball moving forward now. Mendiola there to clear it up, though. Could not really find Epeso so far in the game. Talking about Maharlika, I know he just came in, but he's such a big target and unable to really get him any touches. Talking about Maharlika.
But when you think of the works of Fornea up on top, and as I said that he lost the ball, I'll save the compliment for later.
Well, there's a bit of a gap there between the back line and the midfield of Maharlika yet again. I'm sure Coach Roxy Dorlas would love to double check the footage again to try and figure out ways that they can improve. Good defensive touch there. Barbaso now to Toyer. Could not find Libre though, as Tuazon wins out. Apia won the ball there. Flores, nifty move. Can he finish though? Beat another defender, but could not beat the keeper. That is offside though, so that will be pulled back.
Just the work of Flores, if you could see it. Lawless and Basa slow to get up after Flores gets the best of them. Takes a shot, forces the save. As you take a look at that quick cut on that right, takes a shot right before the sliding tackle of Lawless. Does enough to test Bandeken.
Libre unable to control that. Apia pushing that forward. Altiche trying to get to the end of it. He eventually does. Tuazon, who's an attacking player, all the way back now to attack, to defend rather. Tuazon, great delivery, trying to find Beaton. He's onside. Can Beaton control it? Trying to go inside, but great defending once more. Epeso finally gets a touch on the ball. The big man trying to drive towards the center. Poor ball inside. Beaton was waiting for it.
You could see that pace he had on that left flank, able to beat his man. It was just the quality of that cut back pass, easily read by Endepe.
Long ball inside again, and Endepe, well, almost obviously beats out Libre.
Literally felt like David and Goliath at that moment.
Well, in the story, David beats Goliath, so let's see if that happens in the game. Moving now on the left flank. Poor ball inside. But Mendiola will still be pressured here.
This time you could see that the relentless pressure being put on by Maharlika have been proving too much for Fadrigalan on the back.
Well, the substitution that we announced earlier is now going to be coming in. Deloso will come in for Fadrigalan, who is now being stretched for a little bit of cramps. Again, these players are not in peak physical condition, given the circumstances that we are in, especially due to the pandemic. And on the other side as well, Lawless is also on the ground, getting stretched there by Bandeken Fong.
Let's see, of course, what changes will be made for this Mendiola side. Take a closer look first at Hamed Hajimedi and Apia. Really just two players that have been controlling the tempo for this Mendiola squad.
Peter John Padrigal, replaced by player number 15.
But also, of course, a UAP player played for NU. Now slotting in the back. He played wing in that last matchup against Kaya.
Offside there for Epeso. Flag is up. Well, the Maharlika bench is screaming for a foul a while ago unbeaten, but then played on because the ball did end up in the feet of Tuazon.
You know, there's still 10 minutes to play. Though it is 1-0 in favor of Mendiola, literally the second half tells a story of how Maharlika really just have been pounding on the attack.
Flores could not get the better of the defender. Jerry Barbasa now kicking forward to Tuazon, finding Toyer. Espeso asking for it. Unique Tuazon again. Fornea asking for it as well. Trying to find the run of Toyer, but really no one bent their runs.
There's a good intention up on the attack, but the connection just wasn't there. Toyer's run was on the wing, not really cutting inside.
Watara, long ball forward. Trying to find a Pia. Could he beat Barbaso? Not that time, but Decan Fong will collect here. Back to Barbaso. Apia still applying pressure. Good turn from Barbaso, but just finding Flores now. Flores been so dangerous this half. Already got the better of Lawless once, got the better of him there again, and Lawless!
What a
Flores.
work from Flores. Ashley Flores has been key to the attack of Mendiola in this second half. Look at that quick turn to put himself in the position to try to score. Again, just a few touches to the right and finds himself free space to take a shot, testing out Bandeken and winning a corner.
Got jumbled up there in terms of saying Lawless and Flores quickly after each other. Here's a chance now for Mendiola. Ball whipped in. Bandeken Fong gets it. But Bandeken Fong has had to make a few crucial saves here in the second half. Playing it quickly to Epeso. Good clearance there coming from Mendiola. Sandoval, he's been doing well on that flank.
But for Maharlika, they really have to use Epeso much more in terms of his physicality, really, to be able to win the ball, most especially those long balls, and just lay off to the midfields.
Great ball to Barbaso. Barbaso has options here. Libre inside. Loses out. Poor touch failed him. Fornea trying to mark Apia. They keep on playing on. Altice. Now Hajimedi. Hajimedi driving forward. Flores in front of him. What can they do here? They shift it to the right. Pangasinan. Back to Hajimedi. Hajimedi takes a touch. Now to Flores. Flores whips it in.
You could feel the confidence coming from their players up on top. And on the opposite end, just by the center of the pitch, Apia is still down from that altercations with Fornea. Seems that just a hand-arm caught up with Apia.
Take a look at the chance again. So Jamedi freed up Flores with the dummy and unable to get that on target.
And this is what you want to see from Ashley Flores. And he's really been standing out up on top for this Mendiola side. We know the capability and the quality that he has. He's played for the likes of Loyola, of Stallion. But really, for this side of Mendiola, he has been playing big up on top. And you could see it in this confidence with holding the ball.
Sawyer with the foul. Deloso, the substitute.
And as the time trickles down, you could expect really just a frustration from the side of Maharlika.
Well, Mendiola, if they could nick a goal here, that would put the game to bed. And if you're Maharlika, if you secure a goal, that's game on. Jemedi. Oh, trying to find Apia again. Basa there to control.
Good movements from David Basa.
Jerry Barbaso. Who does he go to here? They go to Fornea. It's been the beating heart of this Maharlika team in the middle. Shifting it to the wing again. Back to Fornea. Fornea needs options here, not getting any. And Deloso forced to foul.
Deloso has been a firecracker coming into this match, and Apia confronting Fornea with things that happened earlier. Really everything heating up in the final few minutes of this game.
Well, for everyone who thought that this wouldn't be a competitive matchup because of the fact that neither of these teams could win a title, well, you're dead wrong. Take a look at that again. So Apia, well, they're also there with the foul, but Apia came there and I believe gave him a piece of his mind.
And Fornea, known to already have been in the heat of things. It happened in that last game against ADT. And now again being a menace for this Mendiola squad.
Card there for Apia. Confirmation of the yellow card. So many white shirts pressed forward, and now you have Epeso and Indepe who are matching up against each other. Finally, the size advantage for Maharlika. Pia trying to find the run of Hajimedi. Libre pushing forward, playing it, trying to find Tuason. Jeremy Thoyer couldn't do much.
And Depe doing enough to have to restart this game as the ball goes directly at the commentary booth.
Can I just say, that was very impressive that you didn't even flinch. Also, a shout out to our floor director, Dana, who basically headed the ball after it bounced off the ground, albeit by accident, but it did look impressive. Christopher Lawless will check out, and Cosco Luela will check in.
Maharlika Manila FC, player number 17.
Fresh legs at the dying minutes of this match. Will it be enough? Can Maharlika still grab a goal and share the points?
Deloso and Yannick Tuason getting into it. So Deloso coming in as a sub and making himself felt for sure.
And you could hear the instructions coming in from Anton Del Rosario is that, you know, not to get into altercations. They don't have time for that.
That is a corner there after Watara was unable to keep that in. 2 minutes left. Do we have a late twist in the plot?
No, this will definitely be the best clutch move if Maharlika can come out with a goal from this set piece.
Beaten over this. The obvious target is Epeso. Chance here for Tuason. Unfortunately for him, that was off the mark. Still time here for Maharlika though.
That's the delivery from Beaton inside the box. They get the first touch. Thoyer just couldn't. But Yannick Tuason with the bicycle couldn't keep it on frame, on target. But lively outings from this Maharlika side. The second half really has been Maharlika pushing attempt after attempt on this Mendiola squad. Mendiola, of course, have had those few shares of chances up on top. Ashley Flores and Hamed Hajimedi have been connecting up on top.
Well, Ahmed Jamedi almost reached for the ball with his hand.
For a moment, forgot what sport he was playing.
I'm not even aware that he plays basketball. Basa, the center back, now moving forward, but his touch failed him. Just one defender here, but Baso tried to take a step up. Is this the winner? Yes, it is. Flores finishes it. Finishes Maharlika and secures 3 precious points for Mendiola. Picture perfect. And what a celebration.
And you could feel the joy literally of this Mendiola squad. They were quick on the counter-attack, catching the players of Maharlika really just off guard. It was 4v1 in the end, 4 players up on top, and Flores getting that goal that he deserves from the countless efforts that he had on top.
Take a look at this. So off the mistake there from Basa, they find Apia on the left, and the beautiful ball just found Flores, and he made no mistake this time, taken out Bindek Fong.
That was a great team effort as we talk about the run of Apia on that left flank. The quality of the ball, he used the outside of his right foot. He gave it right behind the defensive line, enough for Flores to just continue his run and slot it in the back of the net.
Fornea trying to find Tuaso, now trying to find the run of Toyer. He gets it. Toyer trying to find a Peso, unable to do so, but Fornea gets it. Trying to pull one back here, talking about Maharlika. Trying to look for any movement here, talking about Fornea. Eventually plays it back. And a bit disappointing there in that sequence for Maharlika. Tuason trying to get to the ball first. Barbaso takes a long shot there. Doesn't trouble Watara. Well, a late substitution here. And looks like, well, we were looking for Kenry Balobo, and he's checking in as an outfielder.
You know, it took a while for us to really just check.
I was looking at
we
my...
kept quiet for quite some time. We're like, wait, it says here goalkeeper. And Kenry Balobo, who really played an important role as a goalkeeper in that game against Kaya, is getting in a couple of minutes in this matchup as a field player.
You know, if he ends up using his hands, I really don't blame him. Pangasinan going on the run there, but Fong there to collect as they'll try to launch it forward here for a final attack from Maharlika as time is running out on them. But really that hit by Flores, that goal, already put this game to bed, realistically speaking. Coscoluela could not get the ball as Indepe. What a neat touch there. MJ Libre trying to get the better of him, eventually does. Still MJ Libre, and MJ Libre is just thrown away.
We love the guts of this kid, you know, just taking on the challenge up on top against Indepe. Literally a player twice his side, and does enough to win them a set piece in a favorable position towards the end of this match.
Beaton trying to make this look a bit more respectable for Maharlika. High ball in. Watara couldn't get his hands to it, and it will be a goal kick. Disappointing here for Maharlika, but
all
really,
hats off really to Mendiola, and especially to their captain, Ashley Flores, a player who really deserved to score that second goal after those countless attacks. Again, he was in charge of that crucial pass, technically the real assist in that the first goal, as he made that pass to Altiche.
Kenry Balobo with a forward move there, just trying his best to maybe get on the score sheet here. Poor ball forward again as Mendiola will run the timeout here unless there is another goal on the cards, as Kenry Balobo, who was onside, can he provide a pass? Couldn't even get to the ball really.
Able to keep it in play, across inside.
Flores unable to get to that one. That really, a 3-0 scoreline though would have really flattered Mendiola. And there you have it, Mendiola with their first victory of the season, 2-0 off Nebreja in the first half. Of course, we have to credit that wonderful effort that should have been a goal there from Altice. And then the finisher from Flores that put the game to bed. All hats off for Maharlika for the effort here. But still, work to be done for the new club. It's the end of their season, but for them, it is something to build on. Mendiola have one more to go and a chance to climb up even further.
Mendiola really just showed us what they're capable of doing, finally settling into this PFL 2020, showing us the flavor that they have on attack. Everything really just clicked for this squad, and they really build up on that momentum they had coming off that draw against Kaya, coming into this game, really showing us not only their counter-attack style of football, but what they can do when they keep possession. It was amazing to watch them to cover this matchup. And a game that seemed to be a no-bearing for others is actually a mid-table battle for the two squads.
Altice there with the effort that wasn't counted, but Nebreja there to make sure that it was still 1-0 for Mendiola. Again, a fantastic effort coming from Altice. Fortunately, no goal line technology means that wouldn't count, but still we know that Mendiola did enough to make sure that went in. And take a look at the second one. Again, breaking away off a defensive lapse here for Maharlika, and Flores with a cool finish. Something that he did deserve given the glut of chances that he had. But what a ball coming from Apia. The pass from the outside of the foot. And a tidy finish getting past Bendek and Fon. 2-0 in favor of Mendiola FC 1991 against Maharlika Manila. And up next, we have what should have been the big one, but still a great matchup. United City Football Club against Kaya FC.
And you know, there's still a lot to fight for this next matchup. As ADT clinched 3 points today, Kaya now are fighting for that second spot in the PFL 2020.
A lot of pride on the line for Kaya FC, and for United, well, they want to add that cherry on top of their title. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. My name is Paulo Del Rosario alongside my partner Tachay Alquiros, and we hope to see you again next time.